Okay, this video will help us to review the commas unit that we've been studying in language arts. So if we take a look at the review, comma rules that we've learned during this unit, one rule that we've learned, right from the beginning, to separate items in a series. Remember, the magic number is 3. You need 3 items to separate commas in a series. An example would include the bears, rabbits, and squirrels worked hard to prepare for the winter months. And this year, we want to still include that comma before the conjunction and, since we're really learning that rule in 5th grade still. As you go, into the upper grades, that'll be maybe an optional comma, but for this year, we want to include that comma still before and. A second rule that we learned is the compound sentence, and that would be to separate 2 simple sentences joined together by a comma and a conjunction. Remember how we learned in class the comma always comes before the conjunction, and you can think M before N in the alphabet for comma conjunction. Example, the students prepared for the test, that's one complete sentence, comma and they did very well on it. So we know from class we have to see 2 subjects, like the students, and they on both sides of the conjunctions, as well as 2 predicates, prepared for the test, did very well on it. We've got to see both parts to have a compound sentence. So the third rule, direct quotations to punctuate quotations or dialogue, which would be the exact words of a speaker. Remember again that punctuation always belongs inside of the quotation marks. And again, little technique, think P before Q in the alphabet. Punctuation, quotations. So examples would include the coach said, comma, quote, excellent work in today's practice, period, quote. You can see punctuation inside of the quote here, punctuation before the beginning of the quote here. Second example, all of the preparations for the performance paid off, comma, quote, said the dancer. So the quote's at the beginning this time. We still have that comma, though, inside of the quote at the end. Rule 4, introductory phrase or clause to separate the introductory clause or phrase from the remainder of the sentence. An example would be, in the afternoon, comma, the children went to the library. And that would also be an example of a complex sentence, which we learned earlier this year. Anytime you see that introductory clause at the beginning of that complex sentence, you want to have the comma after it. So those are 4 of the rules, a few more to go. Rule 5, introductory words. Use introductory words at the beginning of the sentence. Examples would be like, yes, recess will be outdoors today, or well, we better wear our jackets. So again, commas after those introductory words at the beginning of a sentence. Rule 6, direct address. When directly addressing a person, set the name off with commas from the remainder of the sentence. For example, Patrick, what time is the game? Or excellent work on the project, Jen. Or third one, go take out the trash, Lou, before the rain comes. In that last example, Lou's name was in the middle of the sentence, so you're going to put commas around it, in front and behind it, because that name could come out and you'd still have a complete thought. It would sound like this, go take out the trash before the rain comes. So the name had to be separated with commas around it. So directly speaking to a person, have a comma, with that name, either after the name if it's at the beginning, before the name if it's at the end, or around the name if it's in the middle of the sentence. Dates, to separate the day from the year. Example, today is Wednesday, November 12th, 2013, comma between the day and year. Number 8, Rule 8, last name, first name when published in an official publication. An example, the center for the Pittsburgh Penguins is Crosby Sydney, be comma after the last name before the first name. That's used like I was mentioning in official publications, most of for the most part. Rule 9, city state, to separate the city from a state. Example, our friends live in State College, Pennsylvania. State College, comma, Pennsylvania. Okay, and then the last rule, the greeting and closing of a letter. Examples, Dear Sam would be a greeting. Love Abby would be a closing in a letter. So those are 10 of the rules we've learned for commas this year, and we're ready to look now at a little practice section to practice those comma rules together. So let's take a look at this. It says add the commas to the sentences below, and on the quiz you would have to do the same exact type of task. So this will be a great review to prepare us for the quiz. Looking at number 1, no, the classes did not have an essay on the test. Lucky you. So it's no comma this time, right? Because that's an introductory word for number 1. Number 2, the friends, family members, and neighbors planned a party for the lady's birthday. So we have the friends, comma, family members, comma, and neighbors. That's commas in a series. We have 3 different groups of people that we're talking about in sentence 2. Number 3, all of the leaves have fallen and the community worked to clean them from the yards. Just noticed a typo there for community. We'll fix that real fast. There we go. So looking at number 3, it would be all of the leaves have fallen, comma, and the community worked to clean them from the yards. That's a compound sentence. We have a subject on this side, all of the leaves have fallen, predicate, the community, subject, work to clean them from the yards. We have those 2 simple sentences or 2 independent clauses joined by the comma and conjunction. Always remember, comma, then conjunction, M before N in the alphabet. Number 4, at the mall, the store sold new Pittsburgh Penguin shirts. So it's at the mall, comma, introductory phrase or clause this time for number 4. Number 5, number 4 was also a complex sentence. You can see the dependent clause followed by the independent clause for 4. Number 5, a new skyscraper was constructed in New York, New York over the past month. So it'd be city, state, New York, comma, New York for number 5. Number 6, the football player's name was listed Montana Joe in the Hall of Fame. So it'd be Montana, comma, Joe, last name, first name. That's an official publication at the Hall of Fame. Number 7, the student said, quote, we have an assignment due today, period, quote. There's some dialogue, the exact words of a speaker, so it's the student said, comma, quote, we have an assignment due today, period, quote. In both cases, you see the comma first, the punctuation before the quotes, P before Q. Again here, punctuation, quotes in dialogue. Punctuation before the quotation marks, P before Q in the alphabet. Number 8's a little different look at it. Thanks for all the help, replied our friend. So the quote's at the beginning this time. Quote, thanks for all of the help. We've got to put the comma inside of the quote again, replied our friend, period. So again, punctuation, then the quotes. Number 9, nice job at the dance recital, Emily. So it'd be nice job at the dance recital, comma, Emily. That's direct address, speaking directly to Emily this time. And then finally, number 10, the student used the greeting, dear family, when writing the friendly letter. So it'd be the student used the greeting, dear family, comma. That's how the greeting would be published if it was used in a letter when writing the friendly letter. So this review should be extremely helpful to us in preparing for an assessment on commas and to remember all of those important comma rules for our writing this year.